What do you do when you want to make a game about the Olympics, but you don't have the Olympic license? For the 1992 Summer Games, US Gold had the license to make games based on the event, and for Japan, US Gold licensed their game to Sega. Official video games for the 1992 Summer Olympics would only be released on Sega systems. Yes, the Master System was still getting games in 1992. It's not like it was 1984 still, and Japanese video game companies could get away with stealing the Olympic trademarks. The key is, while certain aspects of the Olympics are trademarked and heavily protected, the Olympic Committee doesn't own the concept of an international sporting competition held in a particular city in a particular year. And that's why it's Capcom Barcelona '92, not Capcom Summer Olympics. Capcom managed to pack 18 different events onto this cartridge. Okay, there's a lot of foot races and swimming events that play almost identically, but that's still a ton of events. You can choose to practice them individually, or to compete in each one to see what country can bring home the most medals. The events are the 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, 400-meter dash, 400-meter relay, 110-meter hurdles, the long jump, the triple jump, the high jump, the javelin throw, the shot put, 100-meter freestyle swimming, 100-meter breaststroke, 100-meter backstroke, 100-meter butterfly, 200-meter medley swimming, weightlifting, vault gymnastics, and the marathon. Many of those have similar interfaces, but a lot of them have unique twists on those, which make you have to constantly reference the manual while you're playing. For most of the racing events, you have to mash A and B alternately before the race begins to build up power. Then you hit up to launch. In the foot races, you keep alternating A and B. For hurdles and passing off the baton, you hit up. On longer races, you have stamina. And if your power is above about the halfway mark on the bar, then the hearts will decrease, but if it's below that point, then they'll increase. For what it's worth, you pretty much have to be using a rapid-fire controller to get it over the halfway mark. In the swimming events, rhythm matters more than button mashing speed. You have to time pressing the A button to just the right moment in the stroke to maximize your power. You also start out swimming underwater, and that will reduce your stamina quickly until you hit up to surface. After that, you have to press down and A at the same time in order to breathe, and that'll recover one of your hearts. If you run out of stamina, then you wind up stopping and floating there for a little while until you recover. Every type of stroke in swimming has a different rhythm to it, and in the medley event, it switches every time you reach the end of the pool. In the events where you have to launch something, that would be the long jump, triple jump, shot put, and javelin, you still need to build up speed, then tap up when you're ready to move, and then when you're ready to go into action, you press and hold up, and the angle increases while you're doing that. For the triple jump, you have to time pressing up again right at the moment you hit the ground, otherwise your power is greatly reduced. In all of these events, figuring out just the right moment to launch can be tricky. One step too far and it's a foul, but you often take a couple of extra steps even after you press up. This is a bigger problem with the high jump, where you have to hit up to launch yourself up into the air, and then hit up again when you're ready to cross the bar. You have to start your jump when you're far enough back to clear the whole thing, and there really isn't a good guide point for that. For weightlifting, you first set how much you're going to lift, then hit A to grab the bar, mash A and B alternately to build up your power, and then hit up to lift. You keep on alternately mashing A and B as you do this, and as long as the power meter stays above the weight for 3 seconds, then you've done a successful lift. The gymnastics event is probably the trickiest. You've got the run-up, similar to other events, but when you reach the springboard, you have to hit left or right to choose how you're going to launch yourself. Then at the horse, you press up or down to determine what trick you're going to perform. And finally, you have to press down at the correct moment to land on your feet at the mat. For all of these events, timing is really the difficult part. Exactly when and how fast you should be mashing isn't always clear. And naturally, the computer plays a lot better than you. You're going to have a pretty tough time doing anything without a rapid-fire controller here. The marathon is a special event that's totally unlike any of the others. You only do it in the championship mode, and what happens is after every few events, you check in on the marathon progress. And here you set the runner's speed for the next leg of the marathon. You can see a bit of the course terrain, including whether you'll be running uphill or downhill. And they have an endurance bar as well. If you go slow enough, they'll recover some of that energy. Generally speaking, you want to run faster on the downhill and take your time on the uphill. However, it's not quite that easy. When you check in on the event, your runners moved a distance determined by how fast they were running before. It's not just fixed legs. So you can't really fine-tune their running. They might run fast on that downhill slope that you're planning for, but then still also go uphill past it before you come back to check on them. Capcom Barcelona 92 surprised me when I checked in on how people viewed it in Japan. I found quite a few people who put it on their favorite Famicom games list. Okay, they were mostly lists by people who really like sports games or Capcom games, but it was still a bigger response than I expected. I'll give Capcom Barcelona 92 this: it's the best track and field game on the Famicom. While there is a lot of mashing required, you also have to have sharp reflexes for launching yourself. And there's just a huge variety of events here. Yeah, there's 5 kinds of foot races and 5 kinds of swimming events, but there's still plenty going on. I didn't enjoy the game, but I can get how some people did.